We're here to define what a man is, right?
Responsibility creates struggle, struggle creates strength, and strength creates structure.
How many people care about what people think about them? Be honest.
As a man, you got to be able to protect not just yourself, but your family.
When we talk about being a man, it's your behaviors.
But I don't say any of this to brag. I don't say any of this to gloat my life up or I'm better than anybody.
I start crying. I'm like, why am I crying? And so what I realized was,
you put yourself in a target-rich environment. You are the only woman that paid for a ticket to come to this event.
if you're trying to teach your daughter to be around a certain man and you're not that man yourself, she gonna choose you.
Hey, let me not touch this nigga. He too clean. Where is that on you?
It's not on me.
It's not on you. The only reason why it's not on you is because you didn't choose it.
Find the women who can actually help you build. And here's some deep game for you. You don't have to have sex with all of them.
Since 2016, I've been following Lucario and Miles. Y'all changed my life. Followed by Uncle Ram. So ever since then, I've been getting a little bit of too much ass at times.
As you know, as a man, there's a balance to it. Your purpose and pussy. And the heavier your purpose.
Even if you lose the relationship, you don't lose yourself. And that's the most important part. All right, here we go. Real quick, shout out to Uncle Guns for becoming the newest member of the YouTube membership on my channel. Appreciate you. Real quick, let me plug the joint right quick. Why men with standards never do this? Some of y'all might be wondering, what is this? In a short while, I'm going to show you guys a short video clip, and we'll get into this. Why men with standards never do this. Masculine Influence 2024 and beyond. If you guys got a question, put a Q in the chat, followed by your question. We are awaiting Miles's presence. He'll be here shortly. But in the meantime, and in between time, I got this. I'm going to go ahead and quarterback this. Why men with standards never do this. Again, if you got a question, put a Q in the chat. Let me shout out some people. Wicked Scorpion, Soulmonger, AJ Leno, Uncle Guns, Renee P, shout out to you. Dukalux, Jermaine Butler, No Data, what's good with you? Kadeem, who else we got up in here? Jameer, is it Jameer or Jomir? Miller, you know who you are, brother. All right, Fat John, what's good with you? Monogamous Player, what's good? Jay Presidente, what's good with you? Troy Scott, what's good with you? Who else we got up in here? Joe Blast, the homie. What's up? What's up, fam? Dan Frank, what's good with you? No Data. I don't know if I said your name already, but if I didn't, there you go. Keith Warren, what's good? Who else we got up in this motherfucker? Bobby J Archive, the Stevie Clark Project, G-Dog UK from across the pond. Okay, again, if you got a question, put a Q in the chat followed by your question. Right now, for a lot of you guys who typically wait till the last minute, this is a good time for you right now. Because once Miles gets here, once Miles get here, we going in. We're going in. So right now it's a good time. Why men with standards never do this? Ken One Warfield was good. Okay, let me say this. Once you get to a point in your life as a man where you have clear, defined standards and principles by which you operate by, okay, meaning you are non-flexible, right? You're stoic, you don't budge, you stand your ground, you stand your position, you don't make no accommodations for nobody, you don't make no concessions for nobody, you don't sacrifice nothing. Linwood, what's good? Who else came up in here? Mr. Go Blue, I don't know if I saw you. There you go. Eugene Steele, what's good? Unique 79, what's good? You're not flexible. You don't compromise your standards. You don't compromise your dignity, your honor, your integrity for nobody. But there is one thing that I noticed that guys tend to do. We're going to get into that. Okay, I'm just going to give Miles a couple more minutes. If not, then I'm just gonna jump right into it with the video clip. He says, hold on, let's see what he said. I've crossed over into the hated. Hey, look, let me tell y'all something. There is no better freedom than to be disliked and you are a man with standards. Now, if you're not a man with standards and you're just a piece of shit, completely different. But if you actually got standards and you're consistent and people don't like you, just let it be known that a lot of people are people who don't have standards. So your standards irritate them. Your confidence irritates them. And let me say this real quick. If anyone ever tries to question your confidence and they try to tell you that you're arrogant, the only people that got a problem with confident people are people who lack confidence. See, your confidence will always look like arrogance to a person that's not confident. Okay, hold on real quick. Yeah, give me a second. All right, yeah, give me a second. Hey, I'm gonna get a question. Let me bring this up. I'm multitasking right now. I'm multitasking. Yeah, give me a second. Okay, all right, hold on real quick. Yeah, give me a second. I'm multitasking right now. No, I sent this nigga. Oh, bro. No, running. All right, my bad. I'm multitasking. All right. So Keith Warren says, what do you think about Chris Brown, greet and meet? I think it was a great idea on his part. Okay. So I purposely didn't talk about it. Other people were talking about it. Shout out to Miles and Lucario. I know they talked about it, and they did a good enough job covering it. And I agreed with 99% of what they talked about. And the percent that I don't agree with is because I didn't see the whole video. Right? But 99.9% of what they talked about, I pretty much agree with. Here's my thing, and this is what guys got to understand. Any woman that you meet has a celebrity crush. And I hate to use the word crush because I don't think that should be in a grown man's vocabulary. I think women and teenagers and young kids can use the word crush, but grown men, I think we should strike that from our vocabulary.
Yo,
what's good with you, fam?
Chilling, man. What's going on with you?
So, all right, cool. Now, I'm just answering this question right quick. So, again, every woman, guys, every fucking woman, I don't care what race she is, there's at least one guy, there you go, at least one guy who's a celebrity, and maybe some guys who aren't, but specifically celebrity, where if she had a chance to meet him and do him, she would. I'm telling you right now, there's at least one, guys, I don't care if it's your mother, your sister, your daughter, your next door neighbor, the love of your life, whoever the fuck it is, there is a guy who is a celebrity where if she had a chance to meet him and get it in right quick, she would. And for a lot of those women that took a picture with Chris Brown, he's one of those guys for them, right? So my thing is, for a lot of those guys that got mad that they baby took a picture with him, they better hope that's all she did was take a motherfucking picture. Right? I'm just saying. Now, Chris Brown, you know, more than likely, he's probably picky about the type of groupies he has sex with. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he ain't gonna have sex with just any chick just because she's attracted to him, right? Because he definitely can't afford to be picky. But so should y'all. Just because you're not a celebrity don't mean you can't be picky either. Okay,
right?
Okay, best believe that. So now I'm just answering this question. So I don't think nothing of it. Guys, let your woman have her bucket list. As long as it's within reason, if her bucket list is being lifted in the air and having her ass squeezed by Chris Brown in a photo shot, let her have that. She coming home with you. You know what I'm saying? And that thing might be a little wetter than it normally is because Chris Brown was grabbing her ass. You know what I'm saying? You thank Chris Brown, dog. I just slid right in it, dog. Normally I don't slide in there like that. Thank you, Chris. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that could be her foreplay for you.
Facts.
Hey man, look, let me tell you something. On some real shit, Miles, I never had a problem with any woman that I dated or I was in a relationship with going to like Chippendales or like when male strippers would come into town. I never had a problem with a chick I was dealing with going to that shit. And I knew because I'm a grown man and I'm not naive and I'm not gullible and I'm very realistic. There's a good chance she saw a nigga that looked better in bikini briefs than I do. You know what I'm saying? And maybe she fantasized about that nigga when he was stripping.
Right.
And she came home and that thing was extra moist, and that nigga was on her mind. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I'm not tripping. Right? It ain't that serious, right? As long as she doesn't cross any of the boundaries that was set before. Now, y'all peep game. Because when we say white men with standards should never do this, the boundaries need to be set before, long before you get into a relationship. The tone, the boundaries, the parameters need to be set before you bless the woman with a title of girlfriend, fiance, or wife. And when I play this fucking clip for you, you're gonna see exactly what I mean. Let me just say this. Well, let me just get into this. Miles, I know you got something you want to plug, fam. I know you do.
Oh, yeah, sure. We got the soap. Make sure y'all guys get the soap, man. Masculine Identity Luxury Soap. Make sure you scan the QR code to order your soap. And what else is there? Make sure y'all go to masculineidentitymembership.com to check out the membership, and also badboymembership.com to check out the membership. And yeah, man, appreciate y'all. All right.
There we go. Right there. Right there. Hold on. My shit moving slow today. Okay, there we go. All right, so there you go. That's the barcode. Get the soap. It's getting hotter. You know what I'm saying? So I know y'all probably sweating a little bit more than normal. Get the soap so you can wash your stinky ass. You know what I'm saying? Get that ASAP.
Yeah, it's a heat wave right now, so y'all be careful out there.
Yeah, it's hot. I got the fan on and the motherfucking AC, and I'm sweating. All right, Renee B, right here with the joint. Also, get your tickets at the Eventbrite link.
Oh yeah.
Also, underneath the description, under Miles's channel and under mine, the Eventbrite link is there. So go ahead and get that. I'm gonna refresh my screen right quick because shit is moving super slow. My end. Give me a second, Miles.
Mm-hmm. Hi, everybody. It's your boy, Miles Cunningham. What's going on with y'all, man? Yeah, man. Look, the phone lines are open. Make sure y'all call in 919-647-9392, I think. Do I remember the damn number? Yeah, 919-647-9392, 919-647-9392. So make sure y'all call in. Hope everybody had a productive week. Make sure y'all tune in to Lucario live at 5, and then make sure y'all tune in to Real Game No Theory tomorrow at 12 noon. And I got the phone lines open. I don't know if you want to put that up on the banner yet.
Yeah, we'll do that in a minute. Let me get to this clip. And again, I want guys and ladies pay attention to the title. Why men with standards never do this. Let me go ahead and get to that little video. Play this shit. Here we go.
Listen, when a woman doesn't want to change or grow up or grow out of her toxic ways, she will actually leave a man of value. She'll actually leave a man that has standards and go to a man of lesser value. She will leave you for a man that she knows will accept her lifestyle no matter what she's doing. She'll leave you for a man that she knows that she can control and manipulate, a man that has no standards, and a man that's going to be all about her just because he's sprung off of her physical looks. There are some Jezebelic women out there that will destroy relationships with good men because they cannot handle the standards that that man is setting, and they cannot handle a man that stands on principles. And then she'll say things like, oh, this is just who I am, and you trying to change me. You steady trying to change me. This is just who I am. But really, her saying this is just a cop-out because she's not ready to mature. She's not ready to grow up and get rid of her toxic ways. Never let a woman convince you, fellas, that you are not enough. because it's not even that. It's just the fact that she needs a weaker man that'll accept her toxicity.
Facts.
It's bugging. Okay, so let me say this. First and foremost, he's not wrong. The problem is, a woman should never be your woman. She should never get to that point to be elevated to such an esteemed role in your life for you to make all of those comments. Oh, she won't change. She's this, she's that. And he mentioned something. He said a lot of guys would get hooked on the physical, her looks. And a lot of times, this is why I tell you guys, when you make a decision to make a woman your woman, you have to put your feelings to the side.
Right.
You have to take out the superficial shit. You have to put the sex to the side. You have to put how much you care about her to the side and how she looks to the side. Why do you think I ask these guys that call in, give me 3 reasons why I made this woman your girl? And I always say, take out looks, take out how you feel, and take out the sex. And they don't know how to answer it, right?
Right.
And most guys do this. Then what happens is they ignore all the red flags. They get into a relationship. And then because they feel like, well, I'm her boyfriend now, she should respect with me. She should respect my opinions and she should listen to me. They think the title of being her boyfriend or husband, they think that yields influence. And my thing is, if you really had influence to begin with, anything you had an issue with would have been rectified before she got the title. In fact, let me say this real quick. When you're that dude and you actually yield that type of masculine influence, do you know women will self-modify their behavior?
Facts.
Self-modify. Okay, let me just tell this quick story and I'm gonna pass it to Miles. Many moons ago, right? I was dealing with this young lady. We were casually dating. Now, when we met, I met her at a nightclub, right? So we were casually dating, doing our thing. And she was campaigning and auditioning to be my girl, right? And I peeped what she was doing. You know what I'm saying? I saw how she was moving. But one of the reasons why I didn't make her my girl was because her lifestyle. She had a party girl lifestyle. So while she was the type of woman I could casually date, she wasn't the type of woman I could make my girl. Now, I never said anything to her about her lifestyle. I let her make it. I let her live, right? So one day she comes to me and she asked to be my girl. And all I told her was, I like the way things are. Let's keep it how it is.
Right.
And the timing ain't right. And the timing ain't right. Right? That's all I said. So a couple months later, she came to me and she said, I don't know if you noticed, but I don't really go out like I used to. And I didn't notice. I wasn't paying attention. I was doing my thing. But the point I'm trying to make with that story is, in her own way, she said, okay, maybe I need to change some things about my lifestyle. And maybe that's why he's not making me his girl. I never gave her any reasons, right? I just told her, nah, not now. That ain't right. Let's keep it how it is. So on her own, she probably figured maybe it's my lifestyle. Maybe I go out too much and I kick it too much. And because I can see, even though I met her at a nightclub, that wasn't my lifestyle. I was chilling, doing me. I went out every once in a blue moon, right? So she was watching me. She was watching how I was moving, and she modified her behavior on her own. So when you listen to guys complain about, oh, I'm going to tell my girl not to go here. These niggas ain't got no standards, and they ain't got no influence. You got to feel.
Now, real talk. I mean, you know, we always try to remind guys that we have to act as leaders. Women are following our lead at all times, and so the way we behave is it totally affects the way the woman behaves, especially when she's interested in you and she has some type of respect for you. So, a lot of guys complain about women, but we don't realize that it's really us who, you know, we get women to behave this way. You understand? We get women to behave this way, and it's all about our leadership as men. And you know, and you showed your true personality, and then she was able to look to you and adjust without you even saying it, because actions speak louder than words. So you don't need to, because, again, we talk about the difference between commanding and demanding respect. If you behave a certain way, your behavior and your presence commands it. You don't never have to demand it. You don't ever have to ask for it. You don't never have to say, oh, you better do this or this or that. Like, you shouldn't never have to threaten a woman. You understand? She should, if she has enough interest, she will focus, she will pay attention, and she'll follow your lead.
And guys, there you go. See, a lot of guys, because go ahead.
Now I'm saying, did you want to put on the number? I mean, unless you got
another phone number right now. There we go. No. We good. We good. Number right there, guys. 919-647-9392. 919-647-9392. Call in. If you got a question, put a Q in the chat. We do got some questions. We'll get to y'all in a moment. We're gonna give the phone line a chance to buzz. Let me say this, guys, because Miles, even when you and L, when y'all do y'all joints, just y'all two, even the Real Game No Theory, and sometimes when we do this show, guys call in and they ask questions like, what do I say to a woman to get her to do what I want her to do? And oftentimes you don't really have to say a lot. You know what I'm saying? How you move as a man conveys a message loud and clear as to whether or not you're the type of man that's not to be toyed with, not to be trifled with. And women know, look, women always watch dudes, right? Especially if you have a woman that may be apt to trying to get over on niggas, she'll watch what you do to see if she can slide up in there and manipulate the situation. So what happens is if a woman sees that you are a principled man with standards and she know you don't play that, she gonna do one or two things. She either gonna get in line real quick because she knows to fuck with you, she got to get in line, or she's gonna auto reject herself. She's gonna leave you alone because she already knows I'm the type of chick, I move a certain way, and I know I can't toy with this man. And based on what I perceive him to be, based on how he's moving, he seems to be a principled man with standards. I don't think I can adhere to his standards. I don't think I can live up to where he's at. And he gonna drop me anyway. Once he realized I ain't that bitch and I can't get in with how he's moving, he gonna leave me alone anyway. So sometimes what they may do, they may have sex with you once or twice because they're curious about it. You know what I'm saying? Right. But they'll dip on out anyway, simply because they know they can't fuck with you and they can't get to that level. So you will have, and this is why women, if you are a beta, and I don't like to use the word beta male, but if you are a beta male simp type of guy, you can get women. But oftentimes you're going to be the type of guy that women curse out, women call you a bitch. This is why, if y'all pay attention to some of the phone calls we've gotten, guys have said, my woman curses me out. She calls me a bitch ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Right. And the women ain't leaving. The women ain't leaving because the women like the power that they have. They're like, I like being able to run this nigga. Right? So you will have some women that will deal with dudes who they think aren't the type of man that they really would want. They're just not at a point in their life where they're ready to make that change to actually deal with a man who actually commands respect and have motherfucking standards. And
I'll say this too, the sad part is when a guy has standards and, for the most part, he's living a pretty quality lifestyle. And then he meets a woman that he finds attractive. And then I guess she may not be interested, or she quote unquote rejects him, or she's just not feeling him, or it doesn't work out. And then instead of realizing, oh, well, maybe she just wasn't able to meet my standards, like he takes things the opposite way and starts to like second guess himself. And it's like, oh man, well, how come she didn't like me? And maybe I need to do something different and blah, blah, blah. And I think that's like some of the saddest shit, because it's like, just because the chick ain't interested, or just because the chick because the chick is not going to say to you, oh, I can't keep up with you. Most chicks are not going to say that. Most chicks, they're going to act like there's something wrong with you. They're going to try to shame you, or they're going to be like, oh, you doing too much, or whatever the fuck they want to say. And some dudes actually believe that shit. Like, imagine, bro, I've had chicks that after 5-10 minutes, I put them to sleep. And it's not, and I'm not even saying that because I'm some big pipe, that I'm some big pipe layer or something like that. But they fall asleep because they lazy, my brother. Yeah, they lazy. Like they don't work out or nothing. As soon as you get their heart rate up past 120, they want to fall the fuck out because they don't work out. They don't do shit, right? And I'm saying those are those type of women where they look at you like, oh, so that's the type of dick you trying to give out where you could actually last for more than 20 minutes type shit. They don't want to fuck. They don't want to fuck with you. They want you to be like every other nigga that just, you know, give them between 5 to 10 minutes, get a quick nut, and both of y'all just roll over and fall asleep because both of y'all lazy and out of shape. You see what I'm saying? Like, listen, I may not have the best physique, but I'm not out of shape. You understand what I'm saying? Like I fucking box for 12 rounds. I go walking, jogging, all that other cool shit. You know what I'm saying? I do 1 hour sessions with my trainer and all that other shit. So there's some women out there who they're used to these lazy ass niggas. And then when you meet up with them and you show them what you can do, they want to, instead of saying, oh shit, you're actually fit. Oh shit, you actually got stamina. Oh shit, you actually could fuck the shit out of me. Right? Instead of saying that, they'll be like, oh, you doing too much. You know what I'm saying? You doing too much. Like I ain't into all that shit, nigga. You better get your nut and hurry up and blah, blah. And it's like, see, and then the dude will take that shit. They'll take the Jedi mind trick and be like, oh man, I wonder if there's something wrong with me. No, why is there something wrong with you? Just because you got stamina, just because you're fit enough to fuck for more than 10 minutes? Why would I look at myself as less than just because she's a lazy ass?
That's some real shit. We got a call though, right?
No. It was some anonymous call, so I'll let it go.
But no, bro. But to your point, that's why I can't do quickies, bro. I'm not my quickie is 20 minutes. That's least a quickie for me. Right. I can't the 5 minute shit. I can't fuck for 5 minutes, bro. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like you, bro. You know, stamina, endurance is on point. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, and I don't like lazy chicks. Like even you know when chicks be squat right when they be on their feet, a lot of chicks can't do that shit for more than fucking a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And they, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, y'all some lazy motherfucking. But you know what it is? To your point, they're used to dealing with dudes that climb up in it, maybe 10, 15 minutes, get their little nut off, and roll the fuck over.
Exactly.
Nah, baby. Yes. We gonna go. Look, I'm about to sweat all over you. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be on and popping. I'm like this, man. I'm like this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. In the middle of putting it down, I'm like, hold on, girl. The girl, she on the bottom going like this, fanning the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like that, bitch. Appreciate that. But anyway, man. Hold on, man. We got some questions real quick.
Guys, call in 919-647-9392, 919-647-9392. Go ahead and call in, guys.
Okay, I'm gonna pop up this question and I gotta refresh my screen, dog. As I can see that it's,
yo, how's the weather out there in Texas, though? How's the weather out there?
Okay, miles. Man, it's 100 degrees damn near every day, dog. It was 107 one day and it was barely noon.
Golly.
And this, bro, and we're in June. The hottest month in Texas or in San Antonio is in August. So bro, we gonna be in for it. Hold on, I'll be right back, Mom.
All right, so Joe Blast says, how do you keep yourself from being wishy-washy with people? Well, man, you gotta stand strong. You gotta focus on yourself and focus on what you want. Remember, guys, instead of saying to fuck what other people think, you have to say only what I think is important. So you just gotta lean into what you want, what you believe, what you desire. That's really all it is. Like, it's that simple. I know it sounds easier said than done, but it's really that simple. You gotta just focus on what you want, what you desire, and whatever you think is right for you. You understand? And then you can't let people switch your shit up. You know, you gotta love yourself, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and be at peace with yourself. Because a lot of times we always think we missing out on something concerning other people. Like, oh, we missing out on hanging out with friends and all this other shit. Half these people ain't even your fucking friends. Half these people, you know, or half the places that they hang out, you don't really like to hang out at, to be honest. Right. But you got to be able to do what you do. Stop looking for validation and stop looking for other people to enjoy your life. You want to answer the question, KZ?
So yeah, to your point, because he says, how do you keep yourself from being wishy-washy with people? Yeah. Can you? It's a delay, bro, on my end. Yeah. So let me answer the question. So he says, how do you keep yourself from being wishy-washy with people? First and foremost, can you hear me, Miles?
I can hear you. Yeah. I can hear you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So guys, surround yourself with people of standards, people who got standards. You know what I'm saying? Surround yourself, like if you're not at a point you want to be, but you see other people at a point and you're like, man, I aspire to get to that point. Start hanging around with them and leave everybody else to the side, right? So surround yourself with like-minded individuals, or with individuals whom you aspire to have, you know, the type of mindset with, right? Because, you know, there's a saying, show me your 5 closest friends, or the 5 people you hang around with the most, I'll show you, right?
Right.
So it's very difficult to improve, to elevate, and to evolve yourself if you're hanging around people that aren't on the level you hope to reach or on your level currently. Like there was a time I had to purge people in my life. I had to purge a lot of people, like dudes that all we did was chase women with, and we didn't really have anything in common other than that, getting ass. I had to get rid of them. Dudes I just smoke with and play video games with, but we didn't really do too much more than that. I had to get rid of all of the motherfuckers because they brought no value to my life other than those things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but the problem is, a lot of guys, you don't want to get rid of people because you don't want to feel like you're lonely. You always want to have people you can hang out with and shit. Me, look, I'm my own best company. I would rather be by myself for the duration of my life than have people around me that I can't feel like this person can assist me in elevating my mind. Okay, this person is at least on my level as far as how I feel and view myself. Right? I don't hang around with people that ain't doing shit with themselves. I can't. So even with women, like I hear dudes talking about, oh, I'm dealing with a chick who's unemployed. Why? Why are you giving dick to unemployed bitches? Why are you fucking with chicks in their 30s who still live with their parents? Why? Go ahead, you got it, Bill.
Nah, yeah. I answered the question before. You have another question in there?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab it. Give me a second, real quick. Where's it at? Okay. So Plug Ultra says, how do you create the standards from the correct place instead of emotion or past trauma? I got to know what you mean by trauma, fam. I don't even know how to answer that because I got to know what you mean.
Well, the best thing I can say to that is you create standards based on your direction, right? Based on the goals you're trying to accomplish, right? Whatever it is you're trying to do, ultimately, that's where you create your standards. So if you know you're trying to live healthy and have a dope physique, then you got to create standards of good diet and workout, right? And sleeping, you know, getting enough sleep, drinking enough water. So you create standards that bring you closer to your goals, objectively speaking. And make sure you're not trying to accomplish goals because you're trying to impress nobody or because you're seeking validation and all that other shit. Just if you have goals, then make sure you're moving towards your goals, right? And you just got to be honest about it. You know, a lot of times people are doing things for different reasons, right? Well, some people, you know, they want to be in relationships or they want to have sex or they want to do certain things, not because they want to have sex and not because they actually want to be in a relationship, but because, like you said, past trauma, or they emotional about shit. You understand what I'm saying? Or they feel abandoned, or maybe their parents abandoned them when they was young. So they trying to be a part of a big family because they don't ever want to make the mistakes their parents made and all that other shit. So again, you just got to really, from an honest place, you just got to understand your goals, understand whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, and then make sure you create standards and design your lifestyle that are conducive to those goals, based on the standards. The goals, the standards have to be based on the goals that you're trying to achieve. And the guys, remember, you could call in 919-647-9392, 919-647-9392. Go ahead and call in. Go ahead, Kay.
Okay. So let me say this real quick. Okay. So I'll just use myself as an example. Just in my life, with or without a woman in it, I know I want peace, tranquility, joy, happiness. I want all of these things, right? I don't need a woman to achieve these things, right? I know how to go get these things on my own, right? So when you talk about standards, I already have standards established based on the type of life and lifestyle I want to have and I want to lead and live. It's already there. I've already established and set that up. So any woman that comes into my life, she can't be disruptive to those things.
Right.
Right. So what happens, a lot of you guys, you don't have these things set up and you're very flexible. So because you're looking for someone or looking for something outside of you to bring you peace, to bring you love, to bring you happiness and joy. You're looking for something outside of you, right? So what happens is you end up adhering to what the woman has going on because you believe if I can adhere to what she has going on, or if I can do things at the behest of the woman, by virtue of that, I'll get what I want out of it too. And then what ends up happening is a lot of you guys get with women and like the clip, you'll end up complaining about the woman. You'll complain about how she dresses. You'll complain about the friends that she has and the things that she's doing because you look to her for a sense of belonging, a sense of acceptance and those things. Whereas men who actually have standards, no. See, if anybody's going to be looking for a sense of belonging or acceptance, it's going to be her. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be me, right? So this is why we tell you guys, strictly deal with women on your terms. Don't compromise your integrity, dignity, and honor for a woman. Never make any concessions or accommodations just so a woman can fit into your life, right? Because once you do those things, she's already a disruption to what you have established.
Right.
So what you're saying is, I'm willing to sacrifice the things that make me happy just so I can have a woman believing that she'll make me happier anyway than I can make myself, which is some weak shit if you ask me. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that's a weak way to look at it. And this is why an example of that is you have people on the internet complaining, love ain't what it used to be. Relationships don't last as long as they used to last. It's because you're looking for something outside of you. Right. And you feel like your life as a bachelor or a single person, women too, you feel like it's not fulfilling to be single. You got to have somebody. Yo, man, that must be a horrible way to live. To think you have to have somebody in your life for you to think you have a fulfilling life. I really, really mean that. That must be a horrible burden you have to really feel like you have to have somebody. Because if you feel like you have to have somebody to have a fulfilling life, that means on your own, you feel like your life sucks. You know what I'm saying? And that's a sad state of affairs. And you people who think that, you're the type of person, you'll accept anything just so you have somebody in your life. Right? And this is why we say, why men with standards never do this. You know what I'm saying? Miles, I would rather be by myself for the rest of my natural life and just jack off the porn than to be with any bitch who ain't fucking with me strictly on my terms. No flexibility, no concessions. I'm not bending. Right? Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of guys, when they hear shit like that, they believe it's impossible. And I'm like, the reason why it's impossible for you is because you don't love and like yourself enough to believe that women will like and love you enough that they will be cool with exactly who you are and buy in. Okay, so let me get to another question. I know I saw one. I know y'all asking him like a motherfucker. Oh, I'm bugging. Real
Shout out
quick,
to
William Kine with the 5. If it's not in you to tell her what to do, she won't do that thing you like her to do. Talk to her. Yo, man, that shit. I don't know if you saw that shit on the internet, Miles.
what's that?
But it's a video clip of this white chick. She's talking about, and I forgot the question that they asked her, but she's talking about going down on the dude. She's talking about you gotta spit on that thing. You know what I'm saying? And that clip, that clip. Oh shit, it's going around, man. It's making its rounds around the internet. All right. So so Male Logic says, are you gonna talk about the lame plumber dude on the balloon? We already talked about that. Miles and Lucario did a show yesterday about that. And we did a video clip. We used a video clip last week on this show.
Right.
Talking about that, about how not, don't dim your light, be unapologetically you. So yeah, Male Logic, Miles and Lucario talked about it. So go to one of their channels and watch the live stream from yesterday. And we briefly talked about it. Miles and L, they covered it from a different angle. And they got a little more in depth to the behaviors of the dude. Right. So if you really want to get into it, then I would suggest you watch their live stream from yesterday.
Thanks. All right, so we got 215. You're on live with K Zaggin and Miles. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
My name is Sean.
Okay.
29, Philly.
All right. What's going on?
I'm just trying to talk about
What's good?
that it's easier to be a bum than it is to be a high value man, and like the bums get all the bitches versus the high value man.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to say what is the
Bro, this is the wrong show for that.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
So what I'm trying to get at is you work on your status, your looks, your game and all that, but she gonna still cheat on you with the bum.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to figure out like what's the purpose? Like what's the point?
Well, so when you do something, right? When you live your life, and shout out to Leroy Soo with the $9.99 super chat. He says, Miles, you always been a real one, but that advice on standard just lit a light bulb in my mind. Okay, that's what's up, man. Appreciate it. All right. So caller. So when you do stuff, do you do it for yourself or do you do it for the woman?
I do it for me.
You do it for you. Okay, so when you do put in all the hard work to be the best version of yourself or to be high value, however you want to call it, wouldn't you rather be that, or would you rather be a bum? If you're actually doing it for you, would you rather be a well-to-do, high functioning, productive man, or you want to be a bum since you're doing it for you?
The first one.
No. I need you to say it, my nigga.
Rather be the high value man.
Okay, so do you have an answer to your question now, or are you still confused?
No, it's like a double-edged sword. It's like the better
it's not a double-edged sword. No, it's not a double-edged sword, bro. If you are being a certain type of man for yourself, then it doesn't matter who the fuck the bitch gets with, because you're being the type of man you want to be, because you're being the type of man you want to be, period. That's it. End of story. Now, if you're sitting there saying, well, what's the point of being a high value man if bitches is always going to get with the bum anyway, then go ahead and be the fucking bum, since everything you do is contingent on if a bitch gets with you or not. Do you understand?
Right. But here's what I'm trying to get at. His is like, if you're the high value man and you trying to just fuck bitches, like you come across as boyfriend material, so the bitch is not going to really see you as the dude.
Nah, that's not the way, bro. That's not the way that works, bro. That's caller. That's not the way. First and foremost, I don't even believe in the high value man nonsense. There's either you're a man or you're not. Okay, period. All that other bullshit is bullshit. Let me say this. Okay, women, and you need to understand this. Women will always gravitate to the men that are the most sexually appealing to them. Period. Regardless of what you got going on, women will always gravitate to the men that are the most sexually appealing to them. So if you're having trouble getting women, it has nothing to do with your car, your job, or any of that. It's because when you encounter women, they don't want to fuck you. That's it. So when you say bums, women are not out here saying, I want a man who ain't got shit going on for himself. I want a broke nigga to fuck with. Women aren't doing that. What women are doing, they're out here dealing with dudes, and when they come across a man who makes their coochie tingle, they like, he can get it. And if he happens to be a man that makes a great living, cool. If he ain't, cool.
All right, so as the high value man, like what can you do to just appear like you just want to fuck?
Bro,
like you don't want
you
to
focus on the wrong shit. Okay, fam. See, you focus on this, fam. You still focus on this high value man nonsense. If you just want to have sex with women, focus on being a man that has sex appeal. Because here's the thing, caller. Okay, here, listen to me, brother. Listen to me. I've run across women when they've dealt with me, they wanted more than just sex. They wanted to date me seriously. They wanted me to date them seriously. They wanted me to potentially be their boyfriend. And I told them, I said, nah, baby girl, we're not doing all of that. If you're dealing with me, we just fucking. And when you deal with women who find you sexually appealing, you know what they're going to do? They're going to be like, I would rather deal with him on his terms, even if it's just sexual, than miss out on the opportunity dealing with this man at all. So even if a woman looks at you as boyfriend material, if she also is sexually attracted to you, in some cases, not all, in some cases, she'll say, fuck it, I'll take what I can get.
So caller, let me ask you, what does just wanting to have sex with a woman and being high value have to do with each other? Like, how are they connected? Please explain.
What you mean by that?
You are asking about having sex and being high value. I'm asking, how are they connected? You the one that came up with the question, not me, brother. So how are they connected?
Yeah, well, when you high value, you got the looks, you got the money, the stat.
Okay, and how does she know any of that? Just by seeing you?
Your presence, how you look, how you dress, your presence.
Okay, so if you just want to fuck, then what can you do then? Hello?
I'm not sure.
Oh, you're not sure. Okay, well, you sound like you need coaching, bro, because you sound like the type of dude that do you let women just tell you what to do and then you do it?
No, I'm direct with them.
You're direct with them. Okay, so what's your problem then?
Me being direct, sometimes I don't get the pussy.
Sometimes you don't get the pussy. Yeah. So that means that before when you were being,
I'm curious, man.
Hold on. Before when you was being indirect or before when you was selling them a dream, you always got the pussy then, right?
My percentage was better.
The percentage was better. Okay, so just go back to doing that then and you good. You don't have to listen to us. You don't have to take anything we say seriously. You could go ahead and do whatever you do to get the better percentage, just since you just want to get pussy. All right? Go back to lying to women, go back to selling them a dream, go back to being indirect, whatever you want to do. As long as you get the better percentage of pussy and that's what you truly want, then go ahead and do that, bro.
One last question.
Okay.
Why you think it's better to be a high value man or like one of them bad boys?
I just think it's, for me personally, I'm just trying to be the best Miles Cunningham I could be. If somebody want to call me bad or call me high value, that's up to them. I don't subscribe to any of those labels. I'm only here to be me. I'm only here to be a man and have a masculine identity and be the best version of myself as Miles Cunningham and as a man. That's all I can say. So all the rest of that shit is based on other people's narratives, and I don't live my life for other people or what other people say. You understand?
Caller, Let me ask you a question.
Can I get that answer from
Carl,
Zach?
Let me ask you a question. Because I had to, my internet is bugging. Let me ask you a question. When you say that you're direct with women, give us an example of what you said that you would deem as being direct.
So let's say I'm on a dating app, and we start out first comment, hey, how are you? And she says something back, and then I ask, like, she down to cuddle.
Cuddle.
And then they like, no, they don't do that first. They rather go out for a drink.
But Carla, how is that direct? Are you trying to cuddle or are you trying to fuck?
Trying to fuck.
Okay, so are you really being direct? The question was, when you're being direct, what do you ask them? That was the question.
Yeah, but if I say you trying to fuck, 99% of the time they're gonna say no.
Well, that's not being direct. Kzagan asked you when you're being direct, what do you say? So you have to go get an example of when you were being direct. And if you never were direct, then just say you're never direct. You always just lie.
Yeah, but no bitch gonna.
I don't care. I don't care about what bitch is gonna do. If you lie to them, then just say you lied to them, bro. Say I lie to women. Say that. Say it. I say I ask women if they want to cuddle when I know I really just want to fuck. Say that. Say the truth, man. Go ahead, bro. Hello.
So.
Hello.
Hello.
Mm-hmm. Hello. Can you hear me? All right, so we got 330. You are on live with Kzagan and Miles. Name 8 City. How can we help you? Go ahead. 330. Go ahead.
What's going on, fellas? This is Jay Sean, 31, Akron, Ohio.
Jay Sean in the building. What's going on, man? I got your Cash App too, bro. I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. You already know. We don't do the bare minimum over here. You know what I'm talking about?
Facts. I appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate the support, bro. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So now I'm going to be hopping on a masculine identity membership. Every Thursday, you guys do like a networking call or something like that?
Nah, I actually discontinued it because honestly, nobody was showing up. just being all the way real. Nobody was showing up, so I discontinued it.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so all I have now, I still have the free email coaching. So if you want to get at me with free email coaching, that's cool. Or if you want to schedule a consultation, y'all could do that.
Okay, but I'll be taking advantage of that for sure.
Okay.
I called into it's a question, and then it's probably going to lead to a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm a project baby. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the projects.
Okay.
And I grew up fighting. Like I know you guys talk about like, and correct me if I'm wrong, optimizing how you're perceived. Is that kind of on the course of what you guys say?
Optimizing how you're perceived.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me speak on that. I don't really care how I'm perceived. My thing is, I'm always going to be the most authentic version of myself, and however people perceive me is how the fuck they perceive me. Y'all got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you want to optimize the highest version of yourself. That's what you want to do, and based on your standards, not based on anyone else's.
Bet. Okay. So I have two conflicting, like very strong personality traits. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I brought up
real quick, Jay Sean, real quick. Hold on, brother. Did we get this super chat, the 999 one?
Oh yeah. Leroy Signal. Yeah, we got that. Yeah, we got that.
Okay, let me get Joe Blast.
And then
Joe Blast with the 5. Yeah. Go back to the red pill. Okay,
go back
to the red pill channels. This here ain't for you.
Right.
There we go. Appreciate you. All right, man. Jay Sean, you got it.
Yep. So, so I got two very strong conflicting personality traits. Like, I'm naturally like very quiet. I'm very serious when I'm in unfamiliar environments, territories, and people. Unless it's like a business networking environment, then I'm cool to, just be openly comfortable myself. And then my other personality trait is like, I'm a wildin' ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I be cracking jokes, I get real creative. I create funny skits and stuff like that based on funny shit that I've been through. And I'm trying to find a balance of the two. You know what I mean? How do you guys suggest that I find a balance when it comes to like getting out, not just talking to women, but just connecting with people that's not business related in general? Like, I know me being silly and shit like that, sometimes that could be perceived as weak. So that's why I grew up fighting, because, people will underestimate that shit. I don't avoid confrontation, you know what I'm saying? And I don't run from it. I just don't seek it, you know what I mean? So if I got to handle shit, I will. But I think how I grew up, I create maybe a coping mechanism to like be that super serious unless I get familiar with my environments. You know what I'm saying? So
okay. So it sounds like you have a defensive personality based on always having to have that tough exterior. You know what I'm saying? Being around wolves. You know what I'm saying? You had to be a wolf. You know what I'm saying? I would say this, and a lot of people do this when they get around people and they haven't, I would say, optimize your identity. Shout out to the masculineidentitymembership.com. Optimize that, right? Because once you truly know who you are and you're comfortable in your own skin, you don't have to have these personality switches to try and fit in or not look a certain way to people. Because you can just go out in the world and just be yourself. You know what I'm saying? And fuck who don't like it. But it seems like you're trying to figure out a way to basically swap your personality out for something different so you can fit into a particular type of environment, if that makes sense.
I would say more so like I love being the wild cracking jokes me, you know what I'm saying? Basically I'm trying to see like what's the best way to maybe melt those social barriers that I naturally have up, like me just being me is me being a wild ass nigga, but like it takes time for me to get to that. If I go to an unfamiliar environment, I sit in the back, I observe everything before I start interacting. I'm basically trying to shorten that time span.
But real quick, Jay Sean, but if you got any type of street smarts, especially if you grew up in that type of environment, to watch and read the room. To sit back and peep out the scenario or the scenery, and that's just in you. That's not going to change. That's just wisdom. Just kind of watching before you start speaking, watching what's going on. People watching, reading the situation. And then basically interjecting yourself in a situation when you see fit, right? There's nothing wrong with that. You don't, because it sounds like you're almost trying to say, how can I go from being the quiet dude in the corner to being a more rambunctious, life of the party, more extrovert type of guy? That's what it sounds like you're asking.
And both are me, naturally. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I read the room, I get into the life of the party. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? So I guess, from what you're saying I'm probably naturally seeing it maybe as a negative thing that I'm so observant before I interact, you know what I'm saying? And it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. Jay Sean, you said something earlier. You said you're trying to shorten the time span.
Mm-hmm.
Can you finish what you were saying?
Yeah. So like, let's say I can give a scenario. Like when I met you and Lucario at the conference, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was just talking to a lot of people at first, I just was reading the room, you know what I'm saying? Then I started approaching people. I feel like, when I walk in, I definitely want to keep reading the room and everything, but I take a while until I get familiar with the scan of the room.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, I basically want to hop right in. I don't know if that makes sense, but I want to basically hop right into just being the me without even worrying about. No, that don't even sound wise. Not even worrying about my environment, but that's what I was going to say. You know what I'm saying? But
well,
yeah,
but
I'm
why? But
conflicted
why?
actually.
Okay. So my question is, what are you worried about though? What are you so cautious about though?
I'm cautious about being, and this is, I'm learning as I'm speaking about it now. I'm cautious about like how I'm perceived, and if I got to be in defense mode, and if I got to fight because I grew up fighting. You feel me? So it's like it's been many a times where I be the silly cracking jokes, wilding ass nigga that's naturally me. But then people underestimate that. Then I either gotta check somebody or I grew up fighting. It's just that's how I end up growing up, and I don't like having to fight. You know, I'm not gonna run from it, but if I can avoid it, I will. You know what I'm saying?
Jay Sean, this is what I would tell you. This is what I would tell you. You shouldn't even have fighting on your mind, fam. You shouldn't even. Now, if you are in different environments, like an example would be like here in San Antonio, the east side of San Antonio, parts of the northeast side, and the west side, and parts of the south side are parts where you need to keep your head on the swivel. Now, you should be keeping your head on the swivel anywhere you go, but there are just certain parts of town where you're extra on it. You know what I'm saying? Because shit can go down in a New York minute, right? Right. So when you go to certain places, like if I go to a white tie event or a black tie event and there's a bunch of professional people there, I'm not thinking about fighting nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking about fighting nobody. But if I'm in a hood visiting, I'm extra on it simply because people in certain environments tend to wow out more than other environments. Regardless of where you're at, you should always keep your head on the swivel. But what I'm saying is there are certain environments you go to where you shouldn't have this fight or flight mentality. You should be a little more chill.
But see, my thing is this though. Like you say you like to be the wilding out type of dude and so on and so forth. But there's a time and place for everything.
For sure.
Right. And so even if you like being the wilding out type of dude, that may not, it meant every situation may not be conducive. Every situation, people may not get your jokes. People may not understand, what it is you're trying to do. And see, here's the thing. Every situation is not meant for you to feel comfortable. You understand?
Okay.
See, a lot of times, I think a big problem with people these days is that they're always seeking comfort. Like, why? Like, why do you always have to fucking be comfortable? I mean, unless you are creating your own environment, unless you're throwing the party, unless it's your club or your venue or your house, right? Unless that's the case, like, what makes you think the world owes you comfortability? You see what I'm saying? If you got to read the room, then read the fucking room. If this ain't the place for you to be wilding out and joking around, then don't fucking wild out and joke around, nigga. Because this ain't the place for that right now. Because every place won't be the place for that. So it's not every room that you walk into, you're going to be able to just wild out and be the fun-loving you that you want to be. Because it's not your environment. So sometimes we gotta read the room. Sometimes we gotta follow the rules of the game and know when to shut the fuck up and observe. We gotta know when this is not an environment of our making. So we have to follow the rules as such. Because in some situations, because you're not the one controlling the room, if you open your mouth and say the wrong fucking thing, it's either gonna get you kicked out or beat the fuck up or probably even killed.
Yeah.
Depending on where you really at. You understand what I'm saying? And we know we've seen stories of certain celebrities that's not here anymore that been in certain situations. They said or did the wrong thing when they should have just kept their fucking mouth shut. So the bottom line is that as a man, right? Not to say that you gonna lie and hide who you are, but you have to read the room, bro. You have to understand your environment. And sometimes you're not gonna be able to just be comfortable as you want to be. That's the reality of the fucking game. Because truthfully, the game is about being the best version of yourself. But there are different sides to all of us. Do you understand? Like for example, I'm on this show, you know, we answer questions and we talking and we hosting the show. We in control of the conversation and the vibe, and that's okay. But there's going to be situations where we go into a room where it's the other person's show. You understand? Right. And I'm gonna have to pull it back a little bit because this is not my environment. This is not an environment of my making. I didn't create this situation. So therefore it may not the part of myself that wants to feel 100% comfortable. This ain't the time and place for it. And we have to understand that as men, because that's see, you know, and Jordan Peterson and certain other guys have said it. Between every man and another man or another group of men, there is always the underlying knowledge that, depending on how much we disagree, I may have the ability to harm you, and you may have the ability to harm me. You understand? And that is a reality that all of us as men have to come to terms with. That's why we can't wild out and be as emotional as women, because women will argue and pull hair and act a certain way, but that's why they call it a cat fight. You understand? You might get cats might scratch a little bit, but I've been like, you've never really seen a cat kill another cat. You understand? But when they talk about a dog fight, a dog can kill another dog though. You understand what I'm saying? So again, it's like, I understand what you mean when you're like, oh, well, you know, I'm trying to like, you know, be me and be who I am and so on and so forth. But bro, as men, we have to understand that in dealing with other men, there's a time and place for everything. And we can't be seeking comfort and comfortability in all situations unless it is an environment of your making. If you created the environment, then you have more of a right to be comfortable than anybody else because you created it. Do you understand? And if somebody if somebody's trying to get comfortable and then their comfortability disrespects the environment that you're trying to create, then you have every right to remove that person from your environment. You get what I'm saying?
See,
yeah, 100%. It's funny you say that too, because go ahead.
No, and then I was just saying, and then on the flip side, when you're in someone else's environment, then sometimes you may have to just shut the fuck up and be observant out of respect for the environment that they created, or you have to follow the rules. Just like when we talk about the seminars, we provide a dress code and all that other shit because we need for there to be a certain vibe in the spot. You understand? So we want you to be yourself, but at certain points and different environments, you have to call on different sides of you and know how to represent yourself correctly within the culture of the culture and context of the environment that has been created. And like I said, if it's been created by somebody else, then you're going to have to adapt to a certain extent and choose different parts of you to represent yourself.
Okay.
And
that makes
sense. Miles said that word, the operative word is adapt. It's adapt. It's kind of like if you have a corporate job, you got to know how to code switch. You got to, you know what I'm saying? They got a particular dress code. You know, you can't walk up in there, good morning, niggas, what's up? You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't you know what I'm saying? You can't walk up to your boss who's a straight-laced motherfucker, devil. What up? What up, man? How was your weekend, homie? Yeah.
Your fucking boss looking at you like, excuse me, sir? What are you talking about?
And it's not that you're being fake. It's that you understand that I gotta adapt, and this is just one facet of who I am. Right. But this is me, like Miles said. I can't be comfortable. I can't run up in there with Adidas slides on, with gray sweatpants on, sagging and shit, with a wife beat on, with my hat turned backwards in this motherfucker. I can't walk up in there like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's about you just adapting to the situation and doing your 8, 9, 10 hours, making your money and taking your ass home and shit. And then as soon as you hop in your car, if you want to throw on your do-rag real quick, throw the Black and Mild in your mouth or smoke on whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying, you want to do. But it's being adaptive, right? And here it is. If you don't want to adapt to that, that's where you get your own business then. You know what I'm saying? Make money for yourself. That way you can wear your hair how you want. You know what I'm saying? If you want tattoos all on your face and all of that, then you can do all of that, right? But if not, like Miles said, if you're not gonna have your own business, and if you're gonna get a job working for somebody else, you're gonna have to adapt to how they have shit laid out, right? Because they're comfortable how they are. So you gotta code switch, and you gotta be adaptive to that.
Right. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with reading the room, bro. There's nothing wrong with reading the room, and there's nothing wrong with calling on other parts of your personality to be represented at a certain time when it makes sense. You understand? Because again, I tell you guys this all the time. A lot of times, like we're all complicated human beings, and we all have different layers. We all have different attributes and characteristics, and a lot of times, like, for example, when we say, oh, man, Miles, I wish I had a smoother mouthpiece, or I wish I could be smooth when I'm talking to women. And it's like, you have to understand that you got to be careful when you say things like that. Right. Or like the first thing you said was, I have conflicting characteristics and I'm trying to be comfortable. You got to be careful when you say things, because a lot of times we say things, but it's based on definitions and narratives of others. So when the person says, yo, Miles, I'm trying to have a smoother mouthpiece, the truth is this: the definition of smooth that is actually associated to you is different from the definition of smooth that you were speaking of when you asked the question. Do you understand what I mean? Because when the caller calls in and says, yo, Miles, I'm trying to have a smooth mouthpiece, when he says a smooth mouthpiece, he's thinking, oh, well, I want to sound like the pimp dude from that movie I saw, and he made everything rhyme and he made it sound dope, and everybody thought he was cool because he sounded smooth. Listen, sounding smooth can be just as simple as being calm and confident in your demeanor while you speak. You understand? And that's your true definition of, or that's your version of smooth. You ain't gotta be on no, hey girl, you know what I'm saying? Because you a dime, and it's like every time I rhyme, and because it's like seeing through space and time. Like, you ain't gotta be, that's smooth according to that movie, according to that pimp, according to that nigga coming from that neighborhood speaking to those people. But if you want to be smooth, you got to look into yourself and say, well, what does smooth mean to me? Well, I find myself to be the most confident when I'm talking about whatever. So like you, Jay Sean, you're a videographer, right? So you might be very calm, smooth, and comfortable talking about videography, shutter speeds and color correction and programs and editing and cameras and all that other shit, right? And that's your version of smooth. Right. So when another person talks about smooth, like I said, they talk about some pimp they saw from some movie, and that's not really that, because that's not really you. So it's the same thing. Like you said, oh, well, I want to be comfortable. Hey, you could be comfortable while you being observant and cautious. And you could also be comfortable where once you get comfortable within the environment, then you can, spit couple more jokes and be a little bit more jovial like you want to be. But at different points in time, that's just different versions of, or not different versions, but different sides of who you are, depending on what's needed. So the true game is understanding what is necessary in the environment at the correct time. Because a lot of times it's not just the joke or the punchline, it's the timing of it. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to understand.
What I know about timing?
What you know about timing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could, because let me tell you something. You could just walk into a room and say a joke, and everybody looking at you like you fucking crazy, right? But after a certain amount of time of observing, catching the rhythm, the culture, and the nuance of the environment and of the people that you're dealing with, you might say the same joke maybe 20 minutes later, and the joke lands crazy and everybody laughs, simply because you chose the better time to make the joke, so to speak. You get what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
So timing is a part of game too, bro. Timing and focusing on who you are and being the best version of yourself. And take some time to read the room if you need to, because you don't need to feel comfortable all the time, bro. You don't need to. Is because it's not again, like I said, if it's not your environment, if it's not an environment of your making, sometimes you gotta You know, they call it code switching, but I call it just calling on different parts of you at different times, so you can be the best version that you need to be at that time, because timing is important.
Okay. You know, that definitely makes perfect sense. And when you was talking about like creating your own space and stuff like that, I was last year putting on hella events. Like I put on my first event because, you know, I love R&B and trap soul. And hearing, like I work in Cleveland, there's no like R&B or trap soul lounges. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They either playing that grocery store, you know, music that I don't fuck with, but the environment is nice, or they playing that nigga shit where I love that music, but I don't care to be in those environments. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I ended up putting on my own events, R&B and trap soul. I had like singers performing, poets and painters and shit get up on stage, and I was hosting the event. And I was lively me. You know, I was talking about shit, being funny, had everybody rolling and stuff like that. So I cultivated that environment.
Right.
So
Exactly.
what you're saying is like bringing a lot of confirmation for me. I don't recall having this conversation with anyone that I felt that they could understand and give me the right guidance. So the way you guys are putting it is making a lot more sense. So I was basically doubting myself.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, am I cheating myself from not being like the true me that I really want to be? But it goes to that comfort thing. You know what I'm saying? So that makes perfect sense.
All right, man. We appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and let me,
go ahead, Kate.
And let me say this. Well, let me say this real quick, because the way you cultivated the environment and you set up a situation, every man needs to do that with their life. Cultivate an environment that you're comfortable in, and only allow women in who don't disrupt your peace and your comfort.
Facts.
That's it.
Facts. Yeah. Absolutely. I'll leave with this one thing.
Yeah.
So last night, before I called it at night, I know yesterday you and Mr. Lucario reacted to the balloon popping thing that MTR reacted to.
Yeah.
Dog. So MTR interviewed him yesterday. It was like a 5-hour stream.
Yeah, I saw that shit. Yeah, I didn't see the whole thing, but I know they did that. Yeah.
Bro, halfway in, I'm still a baby in this game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I met you and Mr. Lucario like 2 years ago. I ain't gonna lie, like I wasn't vibing with a lot of the stuff y'all were saying at first, but I was like, well, let me listen. You know what I'm saying? Try to understand the message.
Right.
So then, like maybe 6 months to a year later, I started really understanding and putting it to use.
Right.
And when you be saying like the language exposes you, this dude was talking about how he got with this Mexican chick, moved in with her like after sleeping with her one time, watching her kids and stuff like that. And just all the stuff he was saying, it was like cringe. I had to turn the shit off. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, this nigga can't be real. You know what I mean?
And bro, I didn't know none of that. Me and Lucario, we didn't know none of that about that nigga. We only watched the MTR shit from the Pop the Bubble shit. You understand me?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yo, this nigga was saying all kinds of shit, and he even had MTR looking at him like, nigga, what? Like, because this nigga would, I guess the girl has been exposing him on TikTok, saying like he's crazy, he's a stalker and stuff like that.
Right.
And she was like, yeah, he put his other phone in my car and was tracking me, and then he popped up on me and was like, oh, you cheating on me and shit like that. And then he was telling MTR, he was like, no, that chick lying. So MTR was like, did you have another phone in her car? He was like, well, look, I got 2 phones. One is my personal, one is my plumbing my plumbing phone. And I accidentally left my plumbing phone in her car, so I pulled up on her. So he's like, so you did pop up on her by leaving another phone in her car to track her. He's like, MTR was like, what?
Look, let me tell you something. He not only was he on that balloon pop show, but a couple months back, myself, Steve the Dean Williams, and Mr. 1950, we did a pineapple reaction show, and he was on there too. Right. So to me, when you got dudes that bouncing between all of these goofy ass dating shows, that says a lot about these dudes. It says because real men, real players, we ain't getting on that shit, right? So it says a lot about these guys that get on that type of shit, you get on type of shows. So there's something about these guys that ain't quite right. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, right. Shit is crazy.
Facts, man.
But I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that, fellas. I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all Saturday and be safe out here.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, Jay Sean. You already know what it is, man. You be safe out there, and you take it easy. All right, man.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right, peace. Yeah, that was actually a good question, man. Because a lot of people don't know, when to be themselves, or when to tone it down and all that other shit. So that's a good question. Guys, call in 919-647-9392, 919-647-9392.
And let me say this, guys, with women, you should always be yourself, right? We're not talking about women. We're talking about just generalizations as far as you being out in the world, being at different venues and businesses and other people's homes and things of that nature. But when you are conversing with a woman, you should always be yourself.
Facts.
In public and private or whatever. But even then, if you're in a public setting, how you would talk to a woman at a funeral is not how you would talk to her at a nightclub. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You can still be yourself. You just got to watch your speech and what you say. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you can still be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because I hear guys all the time say that, oh, well, if I'm at a grocery store, or if I'm in a nightclub or whatever, I'm like, of course you're going to speak to a woman a little bit differently. But that doesn't mean that you should conceal who you are. That doesn't mean you still shouldn't be decisive and assertive with what it is you're saying. You know what I'm saying? You just switch up your verbiage. But the overall message you're trying to convey, as far as you being interested in a woman, should still be there. It should never get lost in translation simply because you're in a different environment.
Right. Exactly. Exactamente. Hey. 919-647-9392, 919-647-9392. Go ahead and call in, guys.
Okay, so right here. So let's do this. So Derek's health and fitness program says, I thought you said no more than 15 minutes when you're vetting a chick. What is he talking about, no more 15 minutes? I'm not sure what he's talking about. Guys, y'all got to remember, when you guys are asking your questions, if you're asking your questions on the strength of a comment we made, we might not get to your question 30 minutes after that comment. So, so we're not going to know what you're talking about.
Right. So you got to make a complete, complete sentence, or you got to call in.
Yeah. So Jay the Plug 27 says, how do you get your stamina up to have longer sex? Cardio and some more cardio.
Good diet too.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Because a lot of foods, guys, even some of the foods you eat, especially real greasy foods, they tend to kind of lay on your stomach and they make you a little lethargic, where you kind of just want to lay. That's why, guys, if you think about, like, if you eat a big fucking steak or something and then go home, you kind of just lay there. You don't really move. You just kind of lay there. So even if you're about to have sex with a woman and in a couple of hours you're about to link up with her for that purpose, watch what you eat. You know what I'm saying? Leading up to that time. So you don't eat something that's going to just sit on you and weigh you down, Something to think about. Let me go to another question. All right. So Pimp Hand Slick says, how did you get a chick from an app to come see you when she lives an hour away? Okay,
you tell her address.
There you go.
you tell her your address, bro. Like, what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, guys,
this shit, bro.
Okay. All right, hold on real quick. Miles, give me a second.
All right. Yeah, ain't no trick to it. Just give her your address and tell her to come through. That's it. Ain't nothing crazy about it. How do you do this or how do you do that? You just tell her what it is, bro. You tell her what it is, and stop being scared to tell women what it is. Telling women what it is, bro. That's your bottom line right there. A lot of y'all cats is just afraid to let a chick know.
Yeah, because to me, again, and it goes back to cultivating what you want.
Exactly. You got to cultivate what you want. Let her know what you want. All right. So we got 313. You were on live with K Zaggin and Miles on the Manhood is a Skill Set Show. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
Jay, 24.
All right. What's going on, Jay?
What's up, brother? Like, brother. I have a quick question, man. So, if you go on a date with a bitch, you know what I mean, you just met, and you know, pay for the drinks, the date going just how you want it to go, everywhere you want it. Is it if the bitch either ghosts you later that night or the next day, the next time you try to set a second date up, is that did you just get used? You know, like I know that's a part of the game, but
Bro.
did you get
Okay.
used or
Okay. Fam. Okay, listen. Okay, I want guys to understand something. Is it possible for a woman to just use you for a date? Yes. But another thing that guys don't take into account is that the woman could have been genuinely interested in you, but you said and or did something during the date to make her lose interest. Right? That's still possible. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna pass it to Miles. Here, I want guys to understand something about dates. The date isn't about you trying to secure pussy. That's not what the date is for. The date is literally for you to just make sure that the woman is level-headed, she got some sense, and whether or not this is a woman you care to see later on. Right? That's it. That you care to see later on, right? So when you do the date, you have to understand that if you spend money on a woman and you never see her again after that date, even if you want to see her, she don't want to see you, or she wants to see you, but you don't want to see her, that little money you spent is the cost of doing business. See, when you look at it as, oh, I got used, that means you went on a date for the wrong reason.
Right. Caller, let me ask you a question. When you go out on dates, do you do stuff that you like to do, or do you do stuff that the girl likes to do because you're trying to impress the girl?
No. I usually go to a bar or two that is by my crib, or like a bowling place that's by my house.
Do you go to those
yeah.
places on a regular basis? Do you go by yourself sometime?
Yeah, I go with my boys.
Okay, so those are places that you enjoy, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you're taking a woman to places that you usually go to and you enjoy yourself regardless, then how are you being used regardless of what happens with the woman?
Maybe I'm thinking about the money aspect. Like I bought the drinks, and it's just not saying like I feel like an entitlement or like.
But, all right, so here's the thing. Here's the thing, bro. See, look, you got to know how this is why we tell y'all to go, or this is why I tell y'all to go to badboymembership.com. Bad Boy Membership, Lucario is basically giving out step-by-step tips of how to date, the best practices on dating. And one of the things that he talks about on there is you got to understand what's going on the date. You understand? You only get used if you allow yourself to get used. So, for example, if you're sitting there on the date with the chick, right? You buy the first round of drinks, right? And she's giving you one-word answers, and she, every time you try to touch her or move close to her or even try to flirt or talk about sex, she gives you the cold shoulder. She give you one-word answers. She doesn't move close to you and all that other shit. Are you going to buy a second drink, brother?
No, not at all.
Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. If you're aware of what's going on, then it's hard for you to get used, okay? And if you invited a woman out and you said, "Hey, let's meet up for drinks," then you're kind of obligated on that one drink, and you give her that one drink. But if you see the vibe ain't going nowhere, you see she not feeling you, and you're not feeling her either because she's not being receptive, then the only time you gonna get used is if you continue to buy drinks and try to talk to her knowing that she's not interested in you. Do you understand that? And right. All in all, that's not you being used. That's you being stupid.
Right.
I would agree.
Say she does do all that, move close to you, kissing you, talking sexual. Say she's fake, like, I guess even if she's faking it, but say she is doing that on a date. And still, goes to that night, goes to the next time you try to set something up. Or,
well, the question is, the question is, did you enjoy yourself on that date?
Yeah, I'll be enjoying myself, yeah.
Okay, so how was that a waste of time once again?
But see, you didn't get used?
No, but if you enjoyed yourself, how are you getting used?
Let me say this. Caller. I want you to think of something. I want y'all to think of something. The only time you can really get used if there was a mutual understanding that if I do this, I'll get that. Okay, let me explain what I mean. So if you call up a chick and you tell her, look, I'm gonna take you out, but I'm gonna need you to consent to giving up that ass before we meet up. And she say, sure, we can have sex, but can we at least grab a drink and grab a bite to eat? And then as soon as you put something in my stomach, daddy, you can take me to your house and you can do what you want to do. If y'all have a discussion about that, and then you go ahead and you spend money on her, and then towards the end, she's like, nigga, nah, you know what? I'm not going back to your crib. Thank you for the drinks and dinner, though. All right. Then you can say you got used because there was an understanding that that you were going to get something in exchange for you spending money. But if you and a woman never discussed sex, y'all never talked about that, and you just took her out, and for whatever reason, she's not interested in you after that, technically she didn't really use you. Because there was no understanding that something would happen after. Does that make sense? It's kind of like there's a video going around of an NFL player, NFL or NBA, I don't, he's a professional athlete, either way, of him having a threesome with two chicks, and he was supposed to pay them some money. So they ended up having sex with the dude, but he didn't. He was supposed to pay after. But there's literally a video of a chick running down the hallway naked, chasing this nigga in a hotel or something, because he didn't pay the money, right? So those women can say they got used, because there was an understanding that it would be an exchange of monetary gratuity for services. Services were rendered. He didn't pay the money. He ran off the chick, butt naked, just ran down the hallway. You can see the shit on camera, right? So they can say he played us. He used us for sex.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So my thing is, the problem with guys, y'all spend money, and y'all. Go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
You got it. No, you got it.
Like, okay, so you go on a date, spend the money, but as long as you enjoyed yourself, you wouldn't think like, damn, like that. She kind of like that. She did kind of got drinks out of me. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't think like that if she ended up ghosting you or just not being interested after that. As long as you enjoyed yourself.
That's why, caller. This is why you always choose a date to places that you're familiar with, that you in. Guys. I would highly recommend that you only select places that you frequent, especially places that you've been to by yourself, where you actually enjoy your company and you enjoy being by yourself. So if the woman never shows up, or she leaves abruptly, or you just realize you guys ain't feeling each other, it doesn't matter, because you're at a place that you enjoy with or without her being there. You're gonna.
Zach, you good?
Yeah, he cut out.
So call.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. I got you. I got y'all, Miles. It makes sense.
See, the thing is that you got to ask yourself: Are you going out to enjoy yourself, or are you going out just to get pussy? Which one are you doing?
Shit, I'll say both. But not to get pussy. Not to get pussy.
No, because
like,
you making it sound like if you go out with a chick, have a couple of drinks, and enjoy yourself, and she don't give you no buns that night, that she used you. That's what you're making it sound like. But that's why we're trying to let you know, if you're gonna go out, do shit that you like to do. Don't do nothing to impress the bitch. Do stuff that you like to do. So just in case she wasn't feeling you enough to fuck you that night, is no harm, no foul. You understand? Or like I said, if you're paying attention and you after even before you order the first drink, if she's acting standoffish, like she can't stand you, why would you go ahead and nigga? I've been in situations where a chick, just the way a chick is dressed, showing up to the date, I'm like, listen, I don't know where the fuck you think you going. Like this ain't how no woman shows up on a date for me. So I really don't know what we doing here. Because I had a chick show up. This bitch had a hair in a ponytail. She was wearing a Gap sweatshirt and some regular house jeans and some Uggs, bro. And I was like, I don't know what you're doing. And I said, but I promised you a drink. So if you want the drink, I'll get you the drink. But this date ain't happening. You understand? And then she started this whole independent woman bullshit. Like, oh, well, I don't need no drink from you. And I said, hey, say no more. Say no more. But you, the way you dress, this date is not happening. You understand? So what I'm explaining to you is that a woman can only use you if you let them, my brother. That's all I'm saying to you. You talking about a woman using you if I bought her some drinks and I spent some time with her, she don't want to give me the buns. Well, nigga, if you just trying to get the buns, then you might as well just be honest and don't do the date. Be like, listen, I'm just trying to smash, shorty. So what's up? You understand what I'm saying? That's what you need to do. Since you think a woman is using you by spending time with you and not fucking, then you need to just go straight and tell her what you trying to do, brother. That's what you need to do. Because if you don't truly enjoy going out and having a good time on your own, or if you truly don't enjoy having, spending time with a female, practicing your social skills and all of that other type of shit, if you truly don't enjoy that and you really just trying to smash, then you need to just be more direct with these chicks.
Yeah, and Carl, let me say this.
What did you see in the jeans with the Gap? How was that? What did you see in that? Like, as far as like, no, she was disrespecting you or something? Or?
Yo, she came dressed like she was going out to pick up her mail from the driveway, bro.
Okay.
And to me, I don't tolerate that type of shit. I don't tolerate that. So I let her know this is not happening. But I said, I invited you out for a drink, so I will get you your drink. But other than that, this ain't happening. Because in her profile pictures, in every profile picture she had on her dating profile, she was all nice and dressed up. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, well, I figured that's what I would be in for. This bitch showed up, not even no lipstick or lip gloss, nothing, bro. Hair pulled back in a ponytail, a fucking Gap sweatshirt, house jeans, and some Uggs. And I was like, no.
And let me say this. Let me say this real quick. Caller, hold on real quick. Caller, hold on real quick. Because I know there's a little delay. But let me say this. And I want to give Miles a round of applause real quick, because what Miles exhibited in that moment was a man with standards. Okay. A man, he exhibited a man with standards, because Miles know, like I know, when a woman is feeling you and she actually values the opportunity to be in your physical presence, she's not going to show up like that.
Exactly.
Her showing up like that, the message she conveyed was, I really don't value the opportunity to be in your physical presence. Nigga, you lucky I'm even here. So you should be happy with what I got on. She might as well have said that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I would have took it. I would have took it exactly that way. Because a woman who's feeling the dude and she wants to make the best impression possible, because she wants to have an opportunity to be in that man's life, she's showing up with her hair down, with the makeup, with the lip gloss, and she might even say, I hope you like what I got on. I was kind of nervous. I picked this, with you in mind. Right? Because I've had women say that I picked this out with you in mind. And I'm looking at her like, she done earned herself some points just by telling me that shit. Right? But let me say this, Carl. I want you to understand something. Right? When women show up on a date, right, that's an opportunity for you to fill her out to see if she's worthy to be in your life past that evening, right? Also, that's what the woman typically is doing. She's filling you out to see if you're the type of guy she wants to fuck with. Now, you should not be concerned with what she's doing. Whatever checklist she got, whatever her dating preferences are, that's not your business. The only thing you need to be concerned about is shorty acting right for me. Is she conducting herself in a way that's in accordance with how I move? So just by her not being responsive to your text, not calling you back, showing a lack of interest and seeing you again, she is showing you she ain't the one. See, you're so worried about her ghosting you, you're not thinking about the fact that in accordance with my standards as a man, she's not conducting herself in a way that's suitable for a woman I need to be seeing.
Right.
You're too worried about the pussy. And what you should be saying is she disqualified from getting the dick based on how she acted. Yeah, I got it.
I got it. Okay. I got it. No, I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that.
All right, man.
I got it.
All right.
I appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the call, man. We appreciate you, man.
All right, take care.
All right, have a good one, man. Take it easy. All right. So guys, call in 919-647-9392, 919-647-9392. And then we kind of already. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
We got 347-347. You are on live with K Zach and Miles on the Manhood is a Skill Set Show. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
Hi, Gilberto Trinidad, 24, Bronx, New York.
All right. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. I was in the supermarket just now, and I asked the lady that I go there with the products in to pay, the cashier. So I asked her, my name is Gilberto, what's her name? And then I told her she want to get an ice cream, I gave her my number. And then she stayed silent.
Okay.
Should I ask her, do you want to go or just leave?
Wait, say that again?
Should I have asked her? Should I say, are we going or leave? Because she stayed silent, didn't respond.
Oh, well, did you leave her your information?
No, I give her my number. I say I give you my number, and when and then I tell her, we going. Then she said, no, I have a boyfriend.
Okay, so you messaged her and said, when are we going?
No. I say she's the cashier. So I went with my product to purchase it. So there, I went to her there. I say, hi, my name is Gilberto. What is your name? I give her my hand to take her hand, and I say, I give him my number, get an ice cream, and then she stay quiet.
Okay.
And then I say, are we going? And then she say, I have a partner. It wasn't in Spanish that was speaking.
Okay.
She got a boyfriend. Call her, bro. She got a boyfriend. What's the issue? Leave her alone.
Yeah. Because when I was asking if a lady, because it happened to me that I asked, a lady stay quiet, didn't say nothing. So I say, are we going or I just leave?
But she said she had a boyfriend though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means she's not interested.
So I say, if I ask another lady,
yeah,
right, and then if she stay quiet when after I say, do you like an ice cream? Should I say, are we going, or I just leave her alone?
Call her. Okay, brother, listen. If you're talking to a woman and you are inviting her out, if she is interested, she's going to respond. If a woman is ignoring you, no response is a response. Basically, she doesn't want you talking to her. If she's ignoring you. If you're talking to a woman, now, when you speak to women, make sure that they're looking at you. Don't just walk up on a woman and talk to her. You're talking to her back, right? Make sure that she's looking at you and she can see that you're talking to her. And if she ignores you, then just walk away.
All right. Thank you so much for that time.
Okay. All right, bro.
Good.
All right. Take it easy, man. All right. So, guys, call in 919-647-9392. Going to be here for like another 10 minutes, guys. 919-647-9392. Go ahead and call in.
We might have another question here. Yeah. Okay. I heard Miles and Mr. Lucario say you shouldn't fuck for longer than 15 minutes when you're vetting a chick. Now you're saying we should go longer. Okay, let me just speak for myself real quick. Okay, let me speak for myself. Okay. Number one, context is everything. Okay. We never told you anything about whether it was a chick you first met or a woman you've been dealing with for a while. But I'm going to give you a clue and a real good hint. When I said I can't do quickies, that ain't me. Normally, when you talk about doing quickies, who do you do quickies with? Typically, a woman you've been dealing with for a while. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Miles, if you want to respond to this.
Well, yeah. In reference to this question, remember we was talking about women that can't live up to your standard because they're lazy and out of shape. So this don't have nothing to do with the next.
Thank you.
Like y'all
gotta listen, guys.
It's like instead of listening to understand, you're listening to try to fucking. Well, you said this before, so what do you mean by this now? And what are you just trying to find contradictions, or are you trying to actually learn game? What are we really trying to do, guys? Because we were talking about creating a standard for yourself as a man, and I was making the example that I've met women that in a very short amount of time they fucking fall asleep because they're lazy, and so that shows a lack of compatibility. So, thanks for the question, Derek.
I'm gonna. Come on, man. I wish I would listen. So Devontae says a woman. Go ahead, let's do the call.
All right, we got 209. You on live with K-Zag and Miles on the Manhood is a Skill Set show. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
Good afternoon, DeAndre, 42, California.
Hello, DeAndre.
Here's my question.
Okay.
In terms of ghosting a woman, especially when she's hasn't been exactly the way you want her to be, I never really thought right about that. My current scenario is there's a woman I was dating that I'm on a dating app. We went out a couple times, and she texts me in the middle of the morning that she had to think about it, and then I never heard from her again. And then a week later, she texts me again saying, "Hey, I want to talk to you." I already thought that she already made her decision, so I didn't know how to respond. So as a man operating and moving in this world, what's your thoughts on ghosting her when you just need to cut it off?
Well, the bottom line is this: if she's being inconsistent, and if it seems as if she can't be a part of the program, then you got to let her go, right? You because she's showing she's not being consistent with you, and it's hard for you to plan. It's hard for you to lead. It's hard for you to make things happen if she is just responding to you whenever she feels like it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you have your answer. You know, a part of compatibility is not just sexual compatibility or social compatibility. Sometimes the schedules have to be compatible, and the manners have to be compatible too. Because you got a lot of these women, they'll contact you when they feel like. You understand what I'm saying? And especially when you're just starting out, if she's being very, inconsistent with it. It's hard to plan when a woman is super inconsistent. So you may have to let her go.
Okay, very well. Thank you for your time, gentlemen. Have a good weekend.
All right, you're welcome, man. Take it easy. Thanks for calling.
All
right, so we got 706. No, we got one more. 706. You're on live with K-Zag and Miles on the Manhood is a Skill Set show. Name, age, city. How can we help you? 706.
Yeah, this is Marco from Georgia, 21.
All right, what's going on, Marco?
Yeah, so I just got two questions. So first question is, so I just met this girl Tuesday, so I'm gonna take her out to the movies today. Is the movies like a solid first meet up?
No, it's not.
No.
But you already made the plan, didn't you?
Fucking talk.
Yeah, we was gonna do that. Then we was probably gonna go to like the David Buster's right after that.
Yeah, you already made the plan.
Yeah,
you already told. Okay, let me ask you. Look, have a great time at the movies, right? Go ahead, brother. But the bottom line is this: you're gonna be sitting there for 2 hours with somebody that you don't know, and y'all not gonna have no time to talk or relate. You understand that?
Yeah, see, that's why I was like, we probably gonna go to David Buster's after that. Or should I just
you could have saved the movie
hold on.
You said what is that?
Bro, you just met this chick and you spending the whole day with her? Hold on, real quick, bro.
You're gonna give her 2 hours at the movie and then another hour at Dave and Buster's. That's you spending 3 hours with a bitch you don't even know.
Bro, y'all niggas are something else, bro.
So what would be like the proper thing to do then? Because only reason she was like, I told her I was gonna pull up on her, right? She was like, "Oh, I need to gain your trust," type shit. So, and I was
What?
like, "Okay, let's go."
She said what?
But it was like
She said, I need to gain your trust.
Yeah, it's fine like that. And I ain't never really had that happen to me. So I was just like, because this is an older girl with two
Caller,
kids.
stop. Caller, I can't. Caller, Marco, bro. The moment a woman says you need to gain my trust, that should be the last word she ever speak to you. Because now you're dealing with her on her terms. You're dealing with her on her terms.
Yeah. Okay. And another, the second question was, should I try to smash on the first date, or should I just?
Bro, she is not sexually attracted to you, fam. No woman who is sexually attracted to you is gonna tell you that goofy shit.
So basically, like if I go on there, it's gonna be a waste of time because she ain't sexually attracted to me.
You've already wasted your time by even dealing with her after she said that dumb shit to you. Guys, hold on, Mark. I'm gonna give, because I know there's a lag, so I want Miles to get in here. Guys, if a woman ever tells you you need to gain my trust, leave her where she stands. That's goofy. Go ahead, y'all got it.
So, Cola, how bad is she? How pretty is she?
I ain't like, she like a solid 7, but she got 2 kids, 27.
Okay, so why you following her lead though, bro?
Yeah, the thing was that was really like the only thing, but I'm leading her though.
No, you're not.
But I see what you're saying though.
No, you're not. Do you really want to go to the movies with this girl?
See, the thing is I don't really go out, so like,
sir. I ask you a question. Do you really want to go to the movies with this girl?
Yeah, it's cool. You know?
Sir, I didn't ask you if it was cool. I asked you a question. Do you want to go to the movies with this girl?
Yeah, I want to go.
Okay, all right. Well, do you, brother? Do you? All we're saying is that you're going to be spending 2 hours with a chick you don't know. But since you claim you want to take her to the movies. All right, well, go ahead. Go ahead. But again, you're spending 2 hours with somebody that you don't really know. You're sitting in the dark for 2 hours.
I was gonna say what I was gonna do is like I'm gonna get the seats in the back. So then I was gonna like just put my arm around her and start like rubbing on her thighs.
All right, well, all right, yeah. If hey, you got a plan, then do you, brother? Do you and see what happens. But just know that as a rule of thumb, movies is not best for first dates because you're supposed to be there you're supposed to be there focusing on the movie. You understand? So if it's a first date and y'all trying to get to know each other, how much you gonna get to learn about a person by sitting in the dark with them for 2 hours focused on something else?
So what would be like a good first date or whatever?
Well, just the Dave and Buster's part.
All right, yeah, just Dave and Buster's. All right, bet. Yeah, I'm gonna just do that then.
Yeah, but you already told her that you went to the movie. Nigga, you can't switch up now.
Yeah, guys. Once you tell God, caller, hold on. Caller, listen. Guys, once you tell a woman that you're going to do something, you need to do it. Be a man of your word. This is when we talk about standards, integrity, honor, consistency of manhood. If you told her you're going to do something, do it. And just live with it. Just live with the ramifications. What's going to happen because you said it. You said it, do it.
All right. And I asked, I don't know if you heard the question about. I was like, should I try to smash on the first night, or just play it off? Like
you should always at least give the offer. You should always at least give the offer. You ain't got to try to force the issue, but you should always let a woman know that she could get this dick. You know what I'm saying? You should always let a woman know that.
Yeah.
Now, in my opinion, by the second date we fucking. If we're not fucking by the second date, then there's no point in the third.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I'm saying? But again, that's my standard though. You need to figure out your standard for yourself, because you the same one talking about you don't even go out. You bring your bitches to the movies when you don't even know what you're really doing like this. I think you said you 21?
Yeah, 21.
Oh, so you don't have a lot of experience then, do you?
Nah, see that's why I was just like, I'm gonna do something, because like I said, this was the first girl that ever said like, oh, I don't trust you to come over type shit. I guess because she got kids or whatever, you know. So I was like, fuck it, you know. I don't really go out anyway.
Well, caller. Let me ask you a question. Do you have your own spot?
Nah, not right now.
Do you when you have sex with chicks? Where's it normally at? Day spot, a hotel, your car? Where's it at?
It might be like if I know the girl for a minute, it's gonna be in the car, but I get like a room or something. Room.
Bruh. So real quick. So did you tell her that you're gonna do Dave and Buster's too, or just the movies?
Yeah, I said David Buster's too. I was like, after the movie, we'll probably go to David Buster's. Just depends on how the night goes.
Okay. This is what I would do if I were you. Y'all niggas. All right, go ahead and do, bro. Don't buy her shit, bro. Don't buy her nothing. Tell her to eat, dog. Tell her to eat first, nigga. Don't buy her don't buy her nothing in that movie theater, nigga. I'm serious. Don't buy her a motherfucking thing in that movie theater. Tell her to eat. Matter of fact, if she got kids, nigga, tell her she need to put some fucking fruit snacks in her purse or something, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like for real. I ain't even tell her to put a couple of Capri Suns in that motherfucker too, nigga. That's what I would do. I would tell her that shit, nigga. I ain't even playing, dog. I'm dead serious. Tell her, hey, you need to grab some of your kids' snacks, grab some of them fruit drinks. Hey, make sure you the biggest purse you got, bring that motherfucker in and throw some snacks for her. I would tell her that, bro. I really would. I really would, nigga. I would tell her that. If you're taking her to Dave and Buster's, you're gonna take her to Dave and Buster's. You probably gonna get her a couple of drinks. You probably gonna get the family size pizza and shit. You probably gonna figure that anyway. You know what I'm saying? At least the bitch can do is bring some of them kids snacks with a dog. You know what I'm saying? And I'm dead serious. I ain't even joking. I'm dead serious. Yeah. And if she say no, and that could be your out. That could be your out. So like, hey, yo, look, text her or whatever. Like, hey, yo, make sure you bring some snacks. You know, throw some joints in your purse. And if she say no, you cheat. Be like, oh, really? You know what's really cheap? That you ain't going to the movies with me. You know what I'm saying? That could be your out, nigga. Go ahead, Miles.
No, you good? Caller, man. You got any other questions or what?
Nah, I ain't got no questions right now. I appreciate y'all.
All right, bro. Yeah, man. Get some coaching, bro. Get some coaching. Go to manhoodisaskillset.com, man, or wait, is that it? Manhood is a skill set?
Yeah, manhoodisaskillset.com
exactly. Or go to masculineidentity.com and holler at us for some coaching, bro, because the first dates is never the movies. You take a woman to the movies after you already been in, you already know each other or you're in a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, you don't do that shit.
But you said still go ahead and go, right? Since I done mentioned it.
You already said it, bro. You already said it. So now you got to do it, or else you just gonna look like a lame or the type of nigga that be switching up plans, and chicks don't like that type of shit. You understand? So the fact that you already said it, you got to do it. What we're saying in the future, you don't take no first date to the movies, my nigga. That's not what you do.
Yeah, like I said, this is my first time ever like really going on a date for it. So
right,
like I know like mess with it.
Right.
Okay. So it's a learning experience, like you just said.
Okay. All right, man.
But appreciate that.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. All right, we got 216. You're on live with the Manhood is a Skill Set show with K-Zach and Miles. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
What's up? Name, Mike. City, Ohio. And then my age is 25.
All right, go ahead. What's your question?
All right. So for my question, how do you improve communicating with yourself to be able to accurately communicate you?
Hey,
Communicating with yourself.
That's a good question.
What? Tell me what you mean exactly.
Okay. So let's say an example, you meet somebody, right? And you're having small talk and you know that miscellaneous small talk isn't for you, but you don't know how to speak about what's for you in a way that's convincing and to put it in a correct word.
In a way that's convincing? What you mean? What you trying to convince the person of?
I mean, not convincing, conveying who you are. Yeah, that'd be a better word.
So you saying how do you speak in a way that conveys who you are?
Yes.
Okay, well, who are you?
Well, you want the boring definition?
Give me whatever definition you want, nigga. Who are you?
Oh, shit, my name Mike. I'm a young nigga. I'm trying to grow myself mentally and physically. I like to focus on my health, work out, and get right.
What does get right mean?
Get right mentally as in learn more about myself, figure out what's the things I like to do, what things I dislike, and to remove those things outside of my life so that I can have a more peaceful life full of distractions.
Right. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Zach. This nigga Zach, you keep cutting out. So yeah, so I mean, like you see, like how you just explained all that about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why can't you just do that whenever you're having a conversation with someone?
I thought it was like a sales pitch or elevator pitch.
See, this is what I'm talking about with y'all niggas, bro. You're taking on the definition of other people. You have everything that you know enough about yourself to say what you need to say, but you think it need to sound different because you don't think how you sound is good enough. You have no faith in yourself. You understand? You have no faith in yourself. You have no belief in yourself, and you hardly. All right. Let me ask you a question. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate your life.
7.
All right. So that means you got shit. That means you got shit to work on. That means you missing 30% of your fucking life. Until it becomes 100, you'll never be able to express yourself and articulate who you are to anyone. Why? Because there's 30% missing. Right? That's your whole problem.
Right.
That's your whole problem. Because when I asked you to explain what all that meant to you, you explained it perfectly. But for whatever reason, that 30% is on your mind where you don't feel like it sounds correct or good enough to be talking to no female because you think somehow the female is better than you or some shit like that, right?
Not that exact thing, but
no. If you're not comfortable expressing yourself to other people, that means you think they better than you, nigga. I don't give a fuck what you say.
Okay.
Either way, you don't think you good enough for whoever it is you talking to. Do you get that or no?
Yeah. Could you break it down a little bit more? I get it, but
okay. All right. I'll give you an example. You see how I don't have a problem raising my voice or cussing or saying whatever the fuck I want to say to you right now. You see that?
Yeah.
Because I know you're not better than me. Do you understand that? I know you're not better than me. And it has nothing to do with you because I don't know you. So theoretically, somehow you could be actually better than me on paper based on somebody's narrative or judgment. But in my perspective, talking to you right now, I am all wise, all confident, and all Miles Cunningham because I'm the best Miles Cunningham on this earth because none of y'all could be me better than me. So me talking to you right now, I'm that nigga. And you can feel that energy from me, can't you?
Yeah,
Exactly. But I don't know you. I don't even know you, nigga. But I'm giving you that energy because that's who I am. And I feel that I am good enough or even better than you, even though I don't know you. And what I'm saying to you is that's the type of confidence that you need to cultivate for yourself and for your life before you can understand how to be enough for other people and for yourself.
right. Because the conviction that you saying in the words and how it's coming off is not even because it's me, but how you feel about you.
Exactly.
And it's just showing through.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is you need to cultivate that type of energy for yourself. However you figure on doing that, you need to do that. I mean, I would suggest that you go to masculineidentity.com and get on my membership. But however you want to cultivate that energy, you do that. But you got to figure it out for yourself. Because when a nigga asks me about my life is, if you ask me, describe my life on a scale of 1 to 10, my shit is on 15, nigga. You see what I'm saying? Easy. Yeah. And I'm not gonna stutter or hesitate. No, nigga, my life is on 15, bro. My life is on 20. Fuck are we talking about?
That don't have nothing to do with financials or none of that other extra bullshit.
No, sir.
But
no, sir.
Feel about it.
No, sir. That's just the way I look at myself. That's how much love and admiration I have for myself and how much gratitude I have for my own life. That's all that is. Okay, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say, see, a lot of y'all are always looking to be liked by people. Okay, you're looking for acceptance, right? You're looking for validation. Because if you listen to Miles talk, Miles don't give a fuck what nobody think about him. When he was telling you what he was telling you, he don't give a fuck how you're taking it or how you feel about it, right? The man speaks with confidence. The man speaks with conviction. The man speaks with passion, right? And a lot of times when you guys speak to women, you don't speak with none of those attributes.
Right. All right. So that's what you got. That's the energy you got to cultivate about yourself to get to that point where when you're articulating and communicating, you can communicate like you should. You understand? And again, you don't have to sound like me. What I'm saying is you cultivate that energy and that perspective for yourself. You don't try to be like me. Don't try to be like Zach. Don't try to be like anybody else. Just focus on being the best version of yourself. You understand that?
No, I get what you're saying, especially certain instances, like for everybody. But for me personally, when I speak about certain things I'm passionate about, is a different story. But like you said, it's that 30%, and I got to figure out what that 30% is for all my words to speak.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Do I get one or two questions?
Well, you only get one because we're on OT and you didn't donate. So.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right. Appreciate it, fellas.
I appreciate you, brother. Take it easy, man. And we got one more call in here. We got 330. You're on live with Zach and Miles on the Manhood is a Skill Set show. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
William Kime, Ohio.
Oh shit, William Kime. What's going on with you, man? What's going on, William?
What's going on?
How you doing, man?
Just catching the live. Pretty good. I catching the live stream. Just driving down the highway right now. But no, I had to call in because that one caller, the one about the movie situation.
Yeah.
I guess he's planning on taking this girl to the movie. I just had I'll be quick here. A quick story on a girl that we hung out one weekend. It's about, going to the movies. We hung out one weekend where we met up randomly. We had a great first date. Didn't fuck on the first date, but it was like the energy between us was, well, basic. I don't even remember was it talked about, but if we see each other, next time we see each other, we fucking, right? Couple days later, she asked me, she's like, hey, my sister and I have tickets for this movie coming out. It's like some big movie. It was a pretty popular movie for a premiere. And she's like, would you be interested? Could you go with me Friday night? My sister had to cancel on me. And I was like, I said, let me see what the movie is about, whatever. I looked it up and I was like, that's something I would enjoy, But the frame that I said is when she's coming, like I'm telling her what to wear. So afterwards, we're going to get down to business, And I mean, she was all on board. in a situation like that, I mean, we were at this movie. She even pointed out that this movie theater's got recliners in it. She's like, I can bring a blanket. We can have fun in there, you know?
Right.
And, but I mean, like, I have the frame set that, you know, we can do this movie, but we fucking afterwards.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that's no way in hell I would take a girl out to a movie for the first time. You know?
Exactly. Yeah,
No.
yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
But let me say this. Anytime I took a woman to the movies for the first time, something sexual always happens. Every fucking time. Right? But here's the key though.
If you got the game,
and I
know,
wouldn't recommend
I can.
Yeah, if you got some game, you can set it up before the movie theater. Girl, when we get a movie theater, you know what's gonna happen in the dark, right? But that's you already knowing that the woman is sexually attracted to you, though. You already know that beforehand, right?
Right.
See, guys, they be going to the movies
If we
hoping
had-
something pop off.
If we would have had time before, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. Let me say this because I know there's a delay. If guys be going to the movies hoping something pops off. No, I'm going to the movies knowing something is gonna happen sexual in the movie theater.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like this was not any money I was spending. And if we would have had time because the movie started kind of with our work schedule and stuff, we didn't have time for her to come over before the movie. But if we would have had time, we would have been fucking before the movie, you know? So like in a situation like that, I guess it's okay to go to a movie, you know, when you're just starting out, like, you know, like, I guess what I'm saying is I would never take a chick to a movie the 5th or the 15th time that I see her, that I would be taking her to a movie, you know?
Right. Okay.
So, but anyway, I just wanted to, I just thought that'd be a quick story about going to the movies, a situation going to the movies. But something like that is okay, right?
No, look, if you know what you're doing and why you're doing it, then by all means. That caller called in. He's 21 years old. He had no experience and he was just doing shit because he thought it was the right thing to do. And this is the very, very first date. You see, at least with you had a date previously and you set the ground rules for the following date. So even though y'all going to the movies, she already bringing the blanket so y'all could do fun things, you know, in private and all that other shit. You get what I'm saying? So again, you can look again, guys, we tell you guys best practices. But if you have a certain experience level, then do what you know works best for you. You understand? You know, we can't tell you what's right in every particular situation for your own life. All we can do is give you best practices. And we know that for the guy that has no experience with women, sitting in the dark with a chick that may not be interested in you is not a good move. That's all we're saying.
No. In fact, it's a horrible move. It's a horrible move.
Right.
But in your situation, it's different. You know what you're doing. The chick suggested, let's bring a blanket. So basically, we can do some nasty shit. So she's on board. She's following your lead.
Right.
She knows you want to get busy, and she's even doing her part to ensure that it happens.
Exactly. With the other kid, there was none of that. He has no experience. You see what I'm saying? So that's a whole different situation.
Yeah. I guess for me, I feel like what you guys are saying, like that's how I felt. Like I know what the fuck I'm doing. Like I'm getting what I want out of it.
Right.
Even though like it was her suggestion for the movie, but the way he was talking with his case, it's like, oh hell no! Like what are you doing, bro?
Mm-hmm.
But caller, now, peep game though. William, peep game though, because what she did was she wanted to do the movie. She knows you want to smash, but what she did was she provided an incentive so you would go to the movies. Hey, I'll even bring a blanket so we can do something under the blanket. So she at least provided an incentive other than just have you sitting there watching a movie you may or may not wanted to see.
I'm pretty sure she even bought popcorn and drinks for the movie. Like when we got there, I'm pretty sure she did. She spent some money on me there too. So, but anyway, like hashtag her debit card worked too, right?
Facts.
Oh no doubt.
Real talk.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I just figured I'd call in quick. I know you guys are on OT.
Yes, sir.
But I appreciate all you guys do, and we'll be tuning in tomorrow. You guys got the real game.
Yeah, Real Game No Theory tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. 12 noon Eastern time. Real Game No Theory.
All right, Doodles, I'm out.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right.
I hope that nigga. I
real
hope he
quick,
didn't just say toodles. I hope he didn't just say toodles. But anyway,
I'm trying to ignore it, Miles. I'm trying to get it off my brain. I don't want that shit on my brain. Jay Sean Harris with the $9.99.
Shout out Jay Sean. Yep.
Appreciate the game and advice. First super chat and sub. Get the likes up. Appreciate you. On that note, all right, y'all. It's been real. On the way out, click the link. October 26th in Miami for the screening of the Game Kings 2.
Yes, sir. And then also make sure y'all get y'all soap, man. Luxury soap, masculine identity. Oh, it smells so good. All right. So yeah, man. Shout out to K-Zag, man. Thanks for having me on all the time. Appreciate you, brother. Yes, sir.
No problem. On that note, guys, like the stream on the way out. Like, share, and subscribe.
Yes,
Enjoy
sir.
the rest of y'all Saturday. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern. Real Game No Theory podcast. Peace.
Peace.